Leonardo da Vinci wasn't just an artist, an inventor, or a scientist. He was a force of nature, a man who saw what others could not, imagined what seemed impossible, and pursued knowledge with an insatiable hunger. Born in an era of rigid thinking, he refused to be confined by convention. Instead, he questioned, explored, and created, and left a legacy that still influences the world today. But what made Leonardo da Vinci different from the rest of the world? How did he think centuries ahead of his time while others barely understood their own era? The secret of his genius wasn't just his talent, it was his approach towards learning, observing, and thinking. So, here are 10 electrifying lessons from the greatest minds of the history, Leonardo da Vinci, and let's see what we can apply upon our lives, and let's see the potential that we can lock within ourselves. The first and the most important lesson from Da Vinci is that curiosity is the lifeblood of genius. His mind was like a wildfire consuming knowledge at an unstoppable pace. He filled thousands of pages with questions and observations, not because he had to, just because he wanted to. He wanted to understand the world around him. He questioned everything: how birds flew, why water swirled, what lay beneath human skin. The relentless pursuit of knowledge wasn't just a habit, it was his way of life, in fact. If you want to think like Da Vinci, you must develop an obsessive curiosity and never stop questioning, never stop asking why. However, curiosity alone is not enough. Da Vinci mastered the art of seeing. Most people look, but only a few truly see. He trained his eyes to capture details that others overlooked. Whether it's studying the light, how the light shapes a face, dissecting a human body to understand human anatomy, or observing birds in flight for hours, he observed the world with laser-sharp focus. His ability to notice the tiniest details made his art and his inventions revolutionary. The lesson here: slow down. Observe the world deeply. The greatest thinkers are those who pay attention to what others ignore. One of Da Vinci's most powerful abilities was connecting the dots across disciplines. He refused to be just an artist, or just an engineer, or just a scientist. He was all of them at once. His knowledge of human anatomy helped him paint human figures with stunning realism. His understanding of physics allowed him to design machines. His study of light and shadow transformed the way he painted. He saw the world as one giant puzzle, where ideas from different fields could come together to create something extraordinary. If you want to be like Da Vinci, you must break free from specialization and explore multiple areas of knowledge. But despite his brilliance, Da Vinci failed a lot. But to him, failure was never the end, but only a stepping stone. He left behind more unfinished projects than the completed ones. Yet, each setback was a lesson. His flying machines were never built, and many of his inventions remain on paper. But that didn't stop him from dreaming, experimenting, and improving. This teaches us that failure is not the opposite of success. It's in fact an essential part of it. The greatest minds embrace failure as a fuel for progress. Another defining trait of Da Vinci was that he never stopped learning. Even at the height of his career, he recognized the gaps that he had in his knowledge and worked tirelessly to fill those gaps. At the age of 42, he realized that he needed to learn Latin to understand ancient texts. So he taught himself. He studied geometry to refine his architectural design, anatomy to perfect his art, and water flow to improve his engineering projects. He was never satisfied with what he already knew. And this is a powerful reminder that learning should never stop, no matter what your age or expertise is. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing and you start declining. But Da Vinci didn't just learn, he challenged everything. He didn't just trust second-hand knowledge, he tested ideas for himself. People believed that heart had only one chamber, so he dissected human bodies to prove them wrong. Artists painted stiff figures, so he studied movement to bring his paintings to life. The world said flight was impossible, but he designed flying machines anyway. He didn't just accept what he was told, he experimented, he questioned, and found his own answers. The lesson here: think for yourself. Never take anything at face value. A major part of Da Vinci's brilliance came from his visual way of thinking. He didn't just write ideas, he in fact sketched them. His notebooks are filled with diagrams, maps, and inventions that helped him visualize complex ideas before he brought them to life. Human brain processes images faster than words, and Da Vinci understood this instinctively. If you want to clarify your thoughts, start drawing them out. A picture can reveal more ideas than a word can. Words cannot do alone. Pictures can do a lot more, and Da Vinci understood this. One of his most underrated qualities was his ability to balance logic with imagination. He was a scientist, a dreamer, and blended analytical thinking with artistic creativity. His calculations were precise, but his ideas were visionary. He painted with technical mastery, yet his work carried deep emotion. He designed war machines with mathematical accuracy, yet he dreamt of flying through the skies. This is the ultimate formula for genius: logic, reasoning plus wild imagination, which equals groundbreaking innovation. For all his energy, Da Vinci also knew the value of deep thinking. He spent long hours in solitude, reflecting on ideas and observing the world around him. He would sit and watch the way shadows move across a wall, or ponder why the sky was blue. He didn't rush to conclusions. He let ideas marinate in his mind. In today's world of constant distraction, this is a lesson we desperately need. Great ideas do not come from noise. They come from moments of quiet contemplation. Finally, the most important lesson of all: turn knowledge into action. Da Vinci wasn't just a thinker, he was in fact a doer. He designed machines to solve real problems, studied anatomy to perfect his art, and applied his knowledge to create things that had never existed before. Many people accumulate knowledge, but only a few use it. If you want to truly live like Da Vinci, do not just learn, create. Don't just think, build. Knowledge is useless unless put into action. Leonardo da Vinci wasn't just born a genius, he became one through relentless curiosity, fearless experimentation, and boundless creativity. The question here is, will you take these lessons, apply them, and unlock your own extraordinary potential? The world doesn't need a new Da Vinci, it just needs the best version of you. This is all in this video. My name is Dr. Ruben Singh. I'll see you in the next one. Signing off for now. Cheers.